harder for him. Just simp harder for him. Go on. The guy that only had ad hominem to have a go at me for, clipped me out of context, lied about what I said. What the fuck? There is a chapter. I don't know if you see that right there. There's a chapter called Elise Peach Response. This is not Friendly Geordies. This is someone else. I briefly opened it up when I was at the cafe this morning, but I didn't really watch it. I kind of just saw that this guy was talking about Friendly Geordies. The Friendly Geordies situation is wild. This may leave you seething, do you reckon? Look, I'm gonna put it on.
Friendly Geordies recently crashed out over a bunch of Australian political content creators who he felt at best was lying about him and at worst was actively defaming him. Look, if I grew up watching a major political party dramatically improve my life, dedicated my life to covering politics, got sued by allegedly corrupt politicians and major corporations, and on top of that had my life threatened, only for some anonymous or no-name leftist content creators to misrepresent my career and beliefs, I'd probably lose it as well. The context is not lost on me. This isn't about defending or attacking anyone in particular. This is a broader critique about how
this isn't about okay, I'll let it go, it's fine.
Everyone who was a part of this conversation,
that's me,
they should really botched it in one way or another.
Is he stealing my wording? Am I thinking too highly of myself?
This is the perspective of someone who, after watching from the sidelines, came away with a worse impression of every single person involved.
But you do have an impression of me. I think that's the bottom line.
I get that Geordies was...
Just remember, this whole ordeal was my debut into off-stream political content. Just so you know, like, I did not exist doing political content off of Twitch, my Twitch streams, before all of this.
Frustrated, feeling forced to react to his detractors' videos because if he doesn't, what he believes to be a false narrative gets to fester and he's undermined.
You are just actively lying about my character. I don't want to be doing this video. You just know that if you do this, people have to respond to it because if they don't, you're just undermining their credibility outright. So they have to respond.
I don't want to contribute to that issue and I don't want to purposely misrepresent anyone. And if someone feels like I have misrepresented them, reach out to me, leave a comment. I'll acknowledge when I make a mistake. I respect what Jordan does. I like his content, but Jordan has also said that he'll acknowledge when he's made a mistake or when he can do better. And I definitely think there were moments where he could have done better. Look, this is just my 2 cents. Take it or leave it. If you like what I have to say, consider leaving a like, consider subscribing. And if you don't like what I have to say, well,
hi,
you're such a cunt.
A big issue is that everyone just got trapped on these surface level positions, with Jordan's responses actually making the narratives he wanted to kill become stronger because for some reason, he just refused to be charitable. I get being heated, but these were pre-recorded videos, some a few months old. Jordan...
Refusing to be charitable is a bit of a weird way to phrase that. I guess it's technically true that he was refusing to be charitable. That's okay. We're in my chapter.
Had time to think of a response and he chose to respond this way and it only made things weaker. There is a big difference between being charitable to a person versus being charitable to their argument, and irrelevant of whether someone actually has the ability to articulate the strongest version of their argument, if you act as if they did, your response will be stronger and much more effective. Let's use the Elise Peach video as an example.
Sorry, I wasn't
this way, and it only made things weaker. There is a big difference between being charitable to a person versus being charitable to their argument, and irrelevant of whether someone actually has the ability to articulate the strongest version of their argument, if you act as if they did, your response will be stronger and much more effective.
So if you talk about the substance of what that person said, it will make your point stronger than just talking about that person as a figure, as a personality, I guess. So basically, don't do ad hom, do constructive feedback, I guess.
Let's use the Elise Peach video as an example. She dropped a TikTok claiming even Labour knows negative gearing didn't cost them the 2019 election and attacked Jordan by showing the ALP's campaign review and quoting a section that was meant to debunk the idea that negative gearing was in fact an issue.
I don't like, okay, it's fine. Look, it's fine, but we're fucking loftusing with that word attack here. Like, this guy is really, attacking is doing a lot of heavy lifting. Can I just give you the context of this short? just like real quick. This is me attacking friendly Geordies. Just to...
Well, it's like, okay, well, we can't get rid of negative gearing in tax cuts. We tried in 2 elections.
This one here is the Labour Party campaign review on why they lost the 2019 election. Shorten and Labour were judged to have performed exceptionally well. The negative gearing policy did not appear to have detracted from the Labour vote. Electorates with large numbers of people making use of negative gearing on properties were less likely to swing to the coalition. Voters who utilised the negative gearing tax concession are better off on average than the rest of the voting population. Overall, better off voters swung towards Labour. Warning, their rent goes on, same tone, but okay.
Jordan came back and hardcore attacked her because in the following paragraph to the one she cited, Labour found that particular political narratives and campaigns from interest groups regarding negative gearing did in fact hurt them during the election. He calls her out on the unfair title.
Surely he knows that he misconstrued me. He took me out of context and misconstrued me. Surely he knows that by now. It's just posted 1 day ago, and I posted my video a week ago.
Jokes about her inability to read, yada yada. It's like we're back on the Trainwrecks podcast for a minute or two. Geordie's was pretty uncharitable to the argument, and as such, we got this surface
Okay.
level TikTok dunk which satisfies no one and doesn't actually do that good of a job of dispelling the critique. But let's try and be charitable to the argument instead. What's its strongest interpretation?
No, it's not about not being charitable to my argument. This is pissing me off. I feel like I need to keep playing this because maybe I'm about to jump the gun. But it's not about not being charitable to my argument. It's about he completely clipped me out of context to make it sound like I didn't say something that I did say. He says she didn't say this thing, but if you continued my video for another 5 seconds, I fucking said it. Oh my god.
What I think she's trying to say...
But I attacked him and he hardcore attacked me back. It's like, it's on the same scale here. What I did versus what Friendly Geordies did is on the same scale. I'm just a little bit less bad than what he did. Oh my god. Okay, it's fine.
Is that when Labour or Jordan or Labour supporters like me make the claim that negative gearing is unpopular and can't be taken to an election, we're actually misrepresenting what happened because the policy itself wasn't what lost them the election. It was the narratives and political campaigns centered around that policy that lost them the election. In theory, changes to negative gearing policy could be introduced if Labour and their pundits were able to effectively challenge the counter narratives that were previously put forward.
Yeah, I think he is steelmanning me here, but yes, true. That is the point.
Saying Labour can't take this policy to an election, she feels as though Labour supporters are sweeping for Labour because they know it wasn't the policy itself that lost them the election, it was the narratives around it. That Labour and its supporters are holding this defeatist mindset that in the end only served to help property owners.
I mean, the only person that I'm applying this to is Friendly Geordies specifically, and Labour themselves. But not even Labour themselves, because Labour themselves admitted that it wasn't negative gearing that lost him the election. It's specifically not Labour voters, it's just Friendly Geordies. When he comes out and says that Labour can't campaign on negative gearing, they tried in 2 elections, that's him saying Labour can't campaign on negative gearing. Therefore, I'm believing that that's his belief, because that's what he's told me. It's just not to do with other Labour supporters. Maybe there are other Labour supporters that believe exactly what Labour believe, which is that it wasn't negative gearing that lost him the election.
Now, you can disagree with that. You can think there's no way she actually believes a nuanced position like that, and I'm being way too charitable. But guess what? After I finished writing this script, I checked out her channel, and she had actually made a response video, and this was almost the exact argument she made. And you can still disagree with her. I think I do.
I'm losing my mind. I'm losing my mind. I'm not holding an opinion here. I'm not holding an opinion. I'm reading Labour's report and I'm telling you what the report says. This isn't an opinion. This is not an opinion. This is not what I believe and what you believe. This is what the report says. I'm losing my mind.
Can get into the weeds of whether or not that is actually what happened. We can get into the weeds of whether it would be effective.
Do you want to get into the weeds? I am more than happy to get into the weeds over this if you would like to get into the weeds over this. There is a full-on fucking like 96-page report that really gets into the weeds of why they lost that election.
To even bring in negative gearing policy. We can have a conversation about whether negative gearing policy actually impacts the housing market as much as some people believes it does. But we didn't get to do any of that because everyone got stuck at that surface level and we got a TikTok dunk instead. She goes on to call Jordan a mouthpiece for the Labour Party, despite the fact that according to her definition, she would meet that criteria too. And on top of that, I'm pretty sure
For
that
Labour?
negative gearing talking point is the exact...
For Labour? Hold on. Am I a mouthpiece? Okay, hold on. Hi.
Goes on to call Jordan a mouthpiece for the Labour Party, despite the fact that according to her definition, she would meet that criteria too.
What? Okay, hold on. According to my definition, I would have reached the criteria to be either what he's saying is a mouthpiece for Labour or a mouthpiece for the Greens. I think he may have worded himself wrong, and maybe he's implying the Greens. I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. He's about to say more? Okay.
And on top of that, I'm pretty sure that negative gearing talking point is the exact same thing Adam Bant sent to me when I interviewed him. Obviously, though, simply agreeing with a politician or a political party doesn't make you a mouthpiece.
This fucking blows my mind. You can go back through my VODs and you can see that I have formed this opinion from one piece of information. The Labour campaign the campaign review. I formed this opinion from one report, from one source, from the Labour Party. I don't know where the fuck this accusation that I'm talking about Greens talking points is coming from. Like I'm working for the Greens or some shit. This is like some weird attempt by like Geordies and all of his people to like, they're all in my comment section trying to say that I'm like running campaign and propaganda for the Greens Party. I have this opinion from one thing from Labour's paper. Does that make me a Labour mouthpiece? If that makes me a Labour mouthpiece and you're saying something different and I'm accusing you of being a Labour mouthpiece, wouldn't that just be fucking stupid of me to say that? People can disagree with that report. They can, but like even this guy's okay. Look, there's more to go through here.
Though. And look, I get Geordie's being angry. Why engage with someone seriously if you feel as though they haven't done the bare minimum to actually engage with the topic?
He knows, oh my God, he knows I did the bare minimum. He watched my clip. He knowingly clipped it out of context so that he could misconstrue me and make me look like an idiot. He knows that's what he did. Either that or he's like a full fucking idiot. If he paused my clip right where he paused it and never watched a single second more, then maybe that would be a stupid thing to do.
I think here's a good reason, because if you are confident in your argument, why not go at the best version of theirs? Jordan feels forced to watch his detractors' videos because if he doesn't, it undermines his position. But because of his surface level response, she had the opportunity to make another video, whereas if he attacked the strongest version of the argument from the moment she said it, this video would have been disproven before it even came out. If Jordan truly does feel forced to watch these videos...
Okay, hold on. If Jordan attacked my points when they came out, like my points rather than doing ad hom, and he actually attacked what I was saying, then this guy is saying there would be no doubt that he would have made me look wrong. Which means that he would have to prove that the reason why Labour lost the campaign is because of negative gearing? Of negative gearing. Not even the scare campaign, but because of negative gearing. I'm not sure he's saying that. It is what he's saying though. He's saying that Jordan could have disproved my point if he tried to attack what the substance of what I was saying. He is saying that. That's what I'm like. I'll play it again.
Strongest version of the the opportunity to make another video. Whereas if he attacked the strongest version of the argument from the moment she said it, this video would have been disproven before it even came out.
Yeah, he's saying that if Jordan attacked what I was saying, the moment that I said what I was saying, and what I was saying was that Labour lost because of the scare campaign, then he would have disproven my point. I would like to invite anyone to try and disprove my point, which was that negative gearing lost in the election. He's saying Jordan looks bad because he failed to do that. Yeah, but he's saying that, like, the ability to have proven me wrong is there, which it means he's saying that he believes that I was wrong.
If Jordan truly does feel forced to watch these videos, he's set up this scenario where he does have to watch another video now and defend the points he could have defended from the beginning. I get that some people will still respond anyway, try and milk Jordan for as much attention as they can get, but it's also way more effective to then see that video and be able to go, oh, we don't have to watch it because we already disproved it.
Did he disprove it? Who just... Has Jordan previously disproven it? I'm really confused. As far as I'm aware, no one's disproven it. Everyone's just said, I don't know. Bro's just saying words? I think this is a parallel universe. I'm genuinely confused. We're almost done.
Could argue that because Jordan already has a video on negative gearing policy, he never needed to respond in the first place, but at the end of the day, viewers often aren't going to go to rewatch old videos or look at the source material themselves. If Jordan's goal is to ensure that his positions aren't undermined, doing these surface level critiques and refusing to be charitable doesn't actually achieve what he hopes.
Okay, just to break it down, just so that we're all on the same page. My point isn't about negative gearing as a whole. My point was that negative gearing didn't lose Labour that 2019 election. And they acknowledged that in that report. And I'm not saying that negative gearing had nothing to do with them losing that election, but it's not the reason they lost that election. There's like 60 findings, I think, in that report. 60 findings in that report for why Labour lost. I think one of them was to do with either negative gearing or the scare campaign around negative gearing. I kind of would like to go back into this report and wrap my head around it, but this is frustrating me.
It would, and all it does is lead to that cycle of call response being perpetuated. Geordie's response.
Do you notice how there's no mention whatsoever of Friendly Geordie's clipping me out of context to misconstrue my point, to lie about me and make me look like an idiot? There's no mention of the fact that he did that, and I very clearly stated that that's what he did. He did that. He did do that. That's not an opinion. That's what he did. But there's no mention of this. It's just this call response. I'm wrong, but Geordie decided to comment on me being a dead-eyed anemic rather than actually prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I invite you to. Think you missed the underlying key information and made a whole ass video? You never critique something unless you're actively trying to present something interesting. It's the basic principle of generosity. It demonstrates your presentation has some worth listening to. Anything else is exaltation. I don't even know what that means. I'm Team Baralara now. Friendly Doyes contradicts his own claim in that YouTube short. Yeah, he does. In that negative gearing video, Friendly Geordies, and albeit he probably is being a little bit like sarcastic, it doesn't actually sound like he believes what he's saying, but he acknowledges that the campaign, the Labour 2019 campaign review says that they didn't lose because of negative gearing. They lost because of the smear campaign, but he says it in like this real sarcastic way that I don't even know if he believes that. But it was a lot of words to say, well, these things happened. All I know is my gut says maybe. The meat and potatoes of this video is about Adu, which, holy shit, I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I watched a little bit of Geordie's like live stream of the Adu situation, and it was all above me. It was like all over my head. I had no fucking clue. Really realizing just how much I tuned out when I watched this last night. Don't worry about the Adu stuff. Yeah, okay. Motherfuckers left of Labour having a sick that the Progressive Party isn't doing enough military industrial complex. What is this? Oh, is this the Discord? Oh shit. Is that why he told me not to join? Hell yeah. Fuck, love that. I'm trying to figure out like where I currently sit. Stuff to watch. I was trying to sort of like, I was trying to create like a space of me trying to understand all of the political commentators. This guy's new to me. I don't know, like, I don't know. How long has this guy been around for? Is he worth watching? Chuck him a subscribe. Is it just Ozpol commentary? She's a woman with a political opinion plus a Greens voter. I don't know what's worse. Fucking hell. These people just can't be happy. Her voice captures Greens. It's amazing how many accents I've come across that complain that about Labour from the left. She's a woman with a political opinion plus a Greens voter. I don't know what's worse. Fuck, that's a heinous fucking Discord, dude. That's but you know, look, it's fine. I would love to have a conversation with Mr. Monuments about why he thinks my point is incorrect. I would love for him to do as he said Geordies could do very easily and disprove my argument. In fact, I think I would invite him to explain to me exactly why I am incorrect. He did say he's trying to ban them. These people in his Discord. Animal Justice Party voter. Shut up, swag. Hold on, I need some music. Can you hear the rain? He didn't say you were wrong, he said he disagrees. But that means I'm incorrect. I think he also did say, sorry, here.
This video would have been disproven before it even came out.
Disproven as in disprove my point, as in prove my point incorrect. Right? Meaning that it's easy for Geordies to disprove my point, which means that my point is wrong. And look, I am willing to take the road of admitting that I am wrong if you can give me evidence to prove that I am wrong. Like I am here and open to the discussion. I'm not gonna call you names like some people might. I would very much love to feel informed, more informed on something that I might potentially be incorrect on. But at the end of the day, I don't know if, like, I don't know, unless you have, like, damning information about the fact that negative gearing single-handedly lost Labour that 2019 election, which I don't think you're going to come across because I haven't seen anything saying that, of that ilk so far. Labour haven't presented that to me either. At the end of the day, the ALP lost the 2019 election due to a multitude of factors. The ALP's own report references 60 findings, and negative gearing is but one of those findings. The primary reason that they lost was that Shorten was unpopular and they couldn't combat the disinfo campaign online, which raged online about death taxes stuff. So this is insane to me. He hasn't read the fucking report. He feels informed enough to make a video on this. I don't know why he is like... Look, okay, it's fine. Let me have a couple of breaths. Give me a sec. if my point is so easily disprovable, and you're complaining about the fact that there's this noise back and forth and no one has disproven my point, why did you continue to add to that noise instead of disproving my point? You were doing the very thing that you were complaining about. What the fuck is this video? It's fucking hypocritical. Disprove my point. Please. For the clicks? Doesn't this make him just as bad as in his own... Is that like gerrymandering? Oh, you've got it. Is there anything else worth watching in this? Like the outro or anything? Conclusion? Maybe I'll watch the conclusion.
With all of that said, I don't think most of the critiques levied at Geordie's were fair or accurate. People call Geordie's a Labour shill because
Oh, shit. Oh my god. Simp harder for him. Just simp harder for him. Go on. The guy that only had ad hominem to have a go at me for, clipped me out of context, lied about what I said. What the fuck? Fucking hell. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, it's fine.
With all of that said, I don't think most of the critiques levied at Geordie's were fair or accurate. People call Geordie's a Labour shill because broadly, yes, he is entirely supportive of the Labour Party, but, and hear me out here, I think that's more of a symptom of the fact that the Labour Party is pretty unique and incredible. You can call me a Labour glazer all you want, but you can't ignore the reality of how incredible Labour has been for this country and how unique their history is. You can't deny all of the amazing things previous Labour leaders set up that we still value today. You can't ignore the fact that this was a party of workers for workers. You can't ignore the fact that Labour is the only party who was able to get power in it.
I didn't watch the Adu part. And so maybe he's just talking about Adu. But I never fucking said any of this bullshit. All these people making me sound like some green simp mouthpiece or whatever. Like you've watched like any second of my content other than what Geordie showed in his clip. And you obviously haven't, because then you would have understood that he completely clipped me out of context. Fucking hell.
Its own right. Look, I covered every Labour, Greens and Liberal policy the last election, and I gave credit where credit was due. I've interviewed Adam Ban, I interviewed Sally Sitow, and I did reach out to Liberal and Conservative politicians. I'm not interested in being right, I'm interested in being correct. And at the end of the day, I think Labour is the correct direction for this country for the many obvious reasons stated in my other videos.
Never said they fucking weren't. Never said they weren't.
I get that some people get really
Holy
angry
shit.
with how much Geordie's attacks the Greens, because a lot of Greens voters don't hate Labour just for the fact that they are Labour.
Oh my god, there's no nuance. These people are incapable of fucking nuance. Holy shit. Just paint me as a Greens voter and then I can be like the big bad wolf of like the greeny SJW woman who's saying things against your party, your incredible political party that you love. That'll be me. If you make that me, that is me. But that is not who I am. And if you, oh my god. Okay, hold on. It's okay. It is okay. It's fine.
They do feel like there is a clock on things like inequality or housing or the environment, and Labour just isn't doing things fast enough. I myself am now less critical of the Greens than Geordie's definitely is. And you know what? There are times Geordie's probably could be more charitable to the Greens than he is. But I'm not aware of a time where Geordie's is maliciously or knowingly misrepresenting the Greens.
Okay, the Greens. If I am the Greens, like this guy says, then Geordie's is deliberately misrepresenting the Greens. Now, I don't believe that I am the Greens, but this guy thinks I am. And so if this guy thinks that I am the Greens, Geordie is guilty of the very thing that he's saying he's not doing. But that's fine. Whatever.
There might be moments, but I wasn't able to find them and none come to the top.
It's not like you didn't watch my video where I stated exactly how he did that, did you? Fuck
my head.
hell.
That said though, negligent misrepresentation isn't the same thing as knowingly misrepresenting something, and that distinction does matter. There's my thoughts on the situation. Take it or leave it. I think most of what I've said is fair. I'm sure there are really valid counter arguments to what I've said as well. But at the end of the
What are
day,
they?
I just think that all of us screaming at each other over and over doesn't actually achieve anything.
That's
It's
fucking
not
you,
meant
dude.
to be this pearl clutch tone police type of video. I'm
That's
sure some of
literally
you
what you're
will
doing.
think
You're tone policing everyone coming at your guy without adding any little bit of substance whatsoever.
that it is, but it just sucked to see this. It was Geordie's yelling at a live stream, claiming that he was being maliciously misrepresented, with Adu typing to that live stream, saying that he was being maliciously misrepresented, with Elise Peach making response videos claiming that she was maliciously misrepresented, and no one is actually
So you know I was misrepresented, yet Geordie's not doing that to a Greens voter. Or is it just that I'm a Greens person and I'm a Greens spokesperson when it works for you? Like I'm either a Greens shill or I'm not a Greens shill.
communicating with one another. And again, you don't have to like each other, but can we at least make the arguments better? Is that an unreasonable thing to ask? I don't think so. I feel like I've tried really hard to give the most charitable interpretations of these arguments, and you can disagree with me, you can dislike me, but I don't think you can say I'm malicious.
In all fairness, he still manned my argument really well. He did. In all fairness, he did understand my actual point, which Geordie's failed to understand. He just said that it was easily debunkable and then didn't spend any time on it, but then said it's a shame that no one spent any time doing this, but then didn't do that exact thing that he was complaining that no one was doing. So I don't really understand how he's adding anything to this situation.
Maliciously doing anything here. You can say it's negligent, that's fine, but at least then you can tell me what I'm being negligent about. If you just believe I'm this malicious clout-chasing liar, there's no conversation to be had, and it just ends there, full stop, surface level TikTok debate over. It sucks. I just want there to be some value in the arguments that creators are having, because the last thing I want is every Ozpol livestream I go on to be Drew Pavlou screaming at a camera. But hey, come join the Discord, come talk about it, come say hi. Hesitantly, come let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe if you appreciate what I'm doing. I really hope that people come away from this video believing it to be a good faith critique that challenges everyone's behavior and not this clout-chasing attack piece to anyone involved. But hey, it's out of my hands now. If anyone wants to chat, reach out to me. It has been real.
All right. I'm going to go through every single finding in this report. There's 60 findings in total. We're going to go through, we're going to see exactly how negative gearing was involved in Labour losing the 2019 election, even though it's 2025. It's fine. Elise, can you please start reading this report? It's very aggressive for you to attack people like this. Okay, so finding number 1.